Hi everyone, Amanda here with Unwind Flow Yoga. For today's class, yoga break level 3. So for today's class, we're going to get into a fun, free flow, going through several different poses to get into the areas of the body that need a little bit of extra attention if we've been spending a lot of our time in a seated position or anywhere that we've been a little bit static and we'd like to get a little bit of that fluid movement. So we'll get started right away here getting into our hips. So when you're ready, take a moment, lie down on the back. And you won't need any props for today's class unless you have props that you like to use for your practice. Starting here on the back, we'll just bring our awareness to the breath. So walk the shoulder blades onto the back body, palms face up if that's comfortable, and just take a few cycles of your breath in through the nose and release out through the nose. Without changing anything, just notice your starting point for today's class. Notice what you brought with you here on the mat. And see if there's anything you'd like to let go of, feeling the sort of exchange of energy that you'd like to capture in today's practice. Or you can expend a little bit of energy moving through your flow, but you also get a little bit of invigoration by finding this nice free flow. Take another breath in. Exhale, release. And then from here, let's hug our left knee into our chest. So interlace the fingers along the front of the left shin, just finding a little bit of an opening there. It doesn't have to be too intense. If you like, you can straighten right leg or keep the knee bent. The leg is straight or flexing all 10 toes. From here, let's take the left knee a little bit further out to the left. So like our left knee is reaching towards our left shoulder. And we have the option to stay there or come into half happy baby. So just one leg, happy baby. Notice if the extended leg is a little bit too much, and you can always re-bend the right knee, plant the foot on the floor. The left fingers are catching on to the outside of the left leg. As you draw the knee a little bit further down towards the floor, heel reaches up. Keeping the right hip anchored down on the floor, so if you need to adjust a little bit. Take another breath in. And then exhale, we'll unwind here, preparing to switch sides. Once you're back through center, take the right knee into the chest. Same entrance here. Let's go nice and slow. Feel it out. Feel where your body is today. Notice that the shoulders are already creeping up. Can you soften them back down? And then if you'd like to add on, right knee draws out towards the right, like it's reaching towards the right shoulder. And then maybe that half happy baby, right arm on the inside of the right leg, and then grabbing onto the outer edge of the foot. Finding that balance here. Right heel reaches as the right knee drops, while keeping the left hip anchored into the floor. Notice if you can soften the right shoulder a little bit. And then find that midpoint, that point of balance where you can stay, where you feel anchored, but you also feel a sense of opening. Take another breath in. Exhale, slowly release, unravel, and then hug both knees into the chest. From here, we'll make our way up into a tabletop. So however you'd like to get there, rock a few times, roll to one side, and then as you're ready, coming onto hands and knees here, let's spread the fingers nice and wide. Wrists are under the shoulders, hips are over the knees, and then let's start to move into a few cat and cow breaths. So as you inhale, drop the belly towards the mat, look up. Exhale, around the spine, press the mat way. Try one more, just like this. And then once you finish that round, we'll add an option, so come towards neutral, and then we'll take the fingertips, rotate them out towards the outer edges of the mat, and then see if you can keep going, where your fingertips start to face back towards the knees, and we'll continue with our cat and cow, but a little bit more into the forearms here. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Notice how this changes your posture here in your cat and cow. If maybe your depth has changed a little bit. I know mine has. See if you can still keep this integrity of smooth movements, even with this little bit of an added challenge. Finishing off your last cycle there, and then when you're ready, release the fingertips back through center, and then just sit back on the heels to give the wrist a little bit of shake. I always feel like I have brand new forearms after movements like that, before finding our way into downward facing dog. So hips will lift, pressing the palms, the fingertips down into the floor, soft bend in the knees as you lift the hips up. Take a few breaths if you like, bend one knee and then the other, move the hips gently side to side. And then come towards a still downward facing dog. We'll get right into our flow here. This first one doing a more of a supportive variation, so if you feel like you need to stick with that in the later flows, please do. When you're ready, inhale, right leg reaches up. On an exhale, right knee hugs in towards the chest, and then softly place right foot down to the floor. Left knee lowers down. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Take a moment here, find your lunge. Right hip squeezes back as the left hip squeezes forward, and see if you can drop into your lunge a little bit, getting into that psoas stretch along the front of our left hip. Take another breath in here, maybe look up, and then bend the elbows, open the chest up. See if you can squeeze in between the shoulder blades, squeeze the elbows back. And then inhale, rise the arms up. From here, this time we're going to come to eagle arms. So right away, getting in a little bit more of that stretch there in between the shoulder blades. This time, stretching them apart. Right arm over left. Can you reach the elbows up? Forearms further away from the face. Maybe sink a little bit lower into your lunge. Take your inhale, slowly rise the arms up. Give them a nice big circle up through center. And then from here, come into a twist. Left hand to the floor. Right arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Drop the hips a little lower. And then this transition we'll see throughout the class. So you can pay attention to this first one a little bit more closely. Top arm, right arm, bend the elbow, coming into that cactus shape. So elbows bend, elbows reaching behind you, shoulder blade onto the back body. And then we'll transition here into a low side angle shape. Take this bent right forearm onto the right thigh, sweep the left shin back behind you, and then left arm takes a big sweep up and overhead into a side stretch. Can you sink the hips a little lower? Can you open the chest? And then exhale, hands come down towards the floor, step back into a downward facing dog, pause there. Adding in our flow, inhale, rock forward into a plank, a nice strong plank pose. Knees or toes. This first one, let's lower all the way down towards the ground. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders onto the back body here. Tops of the feet are down. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose. Open the chest, drawing the elbows back, shoulder blades together. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that same sequence on our left. When you're ready, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left knee hugs in towards the chest. And then softly step it in between the hands. Right knee lowers down, come into your low lunge. Arms rise up. Find this connection to the hips here. So left hip hugs back as the right hip pulls forward. Nice psoas stretch here as you drop the hips a little lower. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. Squeeze in between the shoulder blades. Elbows back behind you, maybe look up. Inhale, both arms rise. Exhale, eagle arms. Left elbow comes over the right. Interlace the forearms. Lift the elbows up, forearms away from the face. Maybe drop the hips a little lower. Maybe take the fingertips a little higher. As you inhale, rise the arms back up. Take a nice big circle here. And then we twist. Right hand down, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Sink the hips low. And then bend the left elbow into that cactus shape. From here, we have our transition. Left elbow comes onto left thigh, right shin swings behind you, coming into low side angle. Drop the hips down, and then sweep the right arm up and overhead. Noticing what's anchoring down into the floor that allows you to lift up. Take another breath in. Exhale, let's unravel here. Hands to floor, step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Optional flow here. Inhale, come forward, high plank. This time we'll go through chaturanga. So press the floor away here. Shine the sternum forward, magnetize the forearms together, and then lower halfway down. From there, rolling over into upward facing dog. Tops of the feet are down. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, slowly rise to the tops of the feet, bend the knees wide, look forward. On an exhale, come into a forward fold. Walk the feet forward, drop the head, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, let's rise all the way back up. Exhale, palms touch, hands towards the heart, Tadasana pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Adding on some challenge to our sequence now. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, slowly fold forward, drop the head, let it go. Inhale, rise, halfway. Exhale, hands to floor. Step back to a high plank pose. Option here to skip your vinyasa or lower down. Rise up into your back bend. And then lift the hips up, downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg rises. As you exhale, right knee hugs in towards the chest, and then step the foot in between the hands. Keep the hands down for a moment. Back knee is lifted. Can you drop the hips, look forward, really lengthen out of your pose. From here, let's rise up into crescent lunge. Arms rise all the way up. As you exhale, sink a little lower, and then press the left heel back behind you. Once again, psoas stretch. Take a breath in, look up. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. Opening the chest here towards the ceiling, and then we're going to transition to come halfway forward. So keep everything as is, but now we're creating this arrow shape with the body. As you breathe in, reach the arms forward. Exhale, can you bend the elbows? Beautiful work. Once again, inhale, arms reach up. And then let's come to warrior two. So plant the back heel behind you, widen the feet a little bit, and then notice what's happening in the right knee. Knee tracks, knee over ankle, knee tracks forward. Arms are strong out to the sides. Look over your right fingertips. From here, let's bring in those eagle arms. So right arm over left, interlace the forearms here, reach the elbows up and away from the face. Can you sink a little lower? Feel the feet magnetizing towards each other to lift the fingertips up. Inhale to release, arms extend out. And then let's come into reverse warrior. Right arm reaches up and overhead, sink a little lower. Rotate the top arm so the pinky finger is reaching down towards the floor. From here, triangle pose, straighten right knee, reach right fingers forward, and then reach as far as you can. Right hand finds right leg, left arm reaches up. From here, maybe look up if that's comfortable for you. And then let's bring back in that cactus arm. So bend the elbow. Feel the shoulder blade come onto the back body. And then option to stay here or come into a half bind. So take the back of the palm towards the right hip, the back of the hip. Keep the shoulder blade rotating back behind you. Feel the right side of the chest reaching up towards the ceiling. Perfect. Inhale, come back up through center, warrior two. Exhale, we're going to find our low lunge twist. Windmill the hands down towards the ground, left knee to floor. Sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling, and then bend the elbow. From there, our low side angle, right forearm, right thigh, left shin sweeps behind you, left arm reaches up and overhead. Big stretch on your left side. Exhale, hands to floor, step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Move through a vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side here. Inhale, fix your left leg up. Exhale, knee hugs in towards the chest. Softly plant left foot on the floor. Keep the hands down as you lengthen your pose. So reach the right leg back behind you. Get a little lower, chest reaches forward. Find the strength in your legs to rise all the way up, crescent pose. Find your lunge here. Sink a little lower. Press the right heel back behind you. Maybe look up. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Open the chest. Take another breath in. Exhale, halfway forward. So everything stays the same, but we're just in this arrow shape now. Can you inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows. From here, extend the arms up. And then open into your warrior two. So adjust the feet. Line up heel to arch here. Sink low into the left knee. Look where it's tracking here in space. Gazing over your left fingertips, sink a little lower. And then as we exhale here, eagle arms, left forearm comes over the right. Lift the elbows up, forearms away from the face. Using the strength of the legs to reach the fingertips a little higher. Inhale, slowly unwind, arms reach, and then reverse warrior. Left fingertips reach up and overhead. Can you rotate that left pinky finger towards the floor? Transition into triangle pose. Straighten left leg. Reach the right fingers forward. Reach first, the left fingers forward, sorry, as far as you can. Left hand finds left leg, right arm reaches up. Take a breath in, rotate the chest, and then maybe bend the elbow. Feel the shoulder blade working its way onto the back body, and the left side chest rotates up. Keep the arm as it is, or you can find that half bind here. Check back into your breath. Notice this little bit of stillness here before we transition our way out. Inhale brings you back up, find warrior two. And then exhale, let's twist. Right hand to floor, right knee down. Inhale takes the left arm up. Bend the elbow. And then transition into your low side angle. Left forearm, left thigh. Sink the hips as the right fingertips reach up and overhead. Get a little longer on the right side now. Feel the space you've created. On an exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the hands, step the left foot back. Once again, option for a vinyasa here. Rock forward to your plank. Keep the integrity of your pose as you flow through it. Notice the balance there. On an inhale here, come high up on the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and then step towards the top of your mat. Find a forward fold. Drop the head down. Inhale to lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale to rise, lift all the way back up. Exhale, palms touch, hands towards the heart. Pause here. Reconnect to that sense of stillness. Noticing in the areas of the body that feel a little bit more active right now. On an inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, release hands to floor, step the feet back. From here, lower halfway down, and then all the way down to the floor. From here, we're gonna mix in Shalabhasana, locust pose. Take the arms behind you, palms face down. Bring the tops of the feet down onto the floor, palms are pressing down. And then slowly start to bring the shoulder blades onto the back body. Feel in between the shoulder blades hugging together. And then pressing the fronts of the thighs into the floor to lengthen the low back. Lift the legs up. Maybe lift the arms up. Reach the fingertips back towards the heels. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go. Take a rest. Repeating that once more time, or we'll take the bind on this variation. Interlace the fingers, rest them on the low back, and then set up your pose here. Lengthen tailbone towards heels, press the tops of the feet down just for now. On an inhalation here, start to lift everything off the floor, straightening the arms, reaching the knuckles back towards the heels. Can you stay here for 3 full cycles of your breath? Take that last breath in. Exhale, slowly let it go. Take a moment, press it back into a child's pose just for a rest. And then inhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. We have one more cycle of our flow here. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee in towards the chest. Step it in between the hands, lengthen your pose. Sink the hips down, chest forward. Inhale, rise, lift all the way up. Take a breath out. Exhale, sink a little lower. Exhale, inhale, fingertips rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. Then a little bit more open now. Exhale, come halfway forward. Stay halfway forward here. Feel the right hip hugging in to support you. As you lighten up the left foot, we're gonna come to warrior 3 with our arms in this cactus shape. So as we balance on our right leg, left leg is active here. So flex the toes down towards the floor. Can you retract the shoulder blades just a little bit more, drawing the elbows back behind you? Beautiful work. From here, transition into warrior 2. So plant the back foot down, windmill the arms out, spread your pose nice and wide. Take a breath in. Exhale, reset here. On that inhale breath, right elbow comes over the left. Lift the elbows up, forearms away from the face. Next breath in, release the arms, reach out, and then reverse warrior. Right arm reaches up and overhead, get long on the right side body. Using your next inhale, straighten right leg, triangle pose, reach the right fingertips forward. When you can't reach anymore, right hand finds right leg, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Same options with the top arm, bend the elbow, take the half bind here. Tap into this awareness of the right side body lifting up as the left shoulder reaches back. Before we rise up here, take this left arm back, up and out, reach towards the top of your mat. Pinky finger rotates down towards the ground. And then we'll inhale to switch, come back, reverse warrior, re-bend the front knee, right arm rises. Take your exhale, slowly transition out into our twist. Left hand down, left knee down, right arm reaches up. Bend the elbow, open the chest. Exhale, right forearm, right thigh. Left shin swings back behind you, left arm reaches up and overhead. From here, make your way out, hands find the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Option here for your flow, or keep it in downward facing dog, your choice. When you find your way back, take a breath in. Exhale, let it go. Preparing for your last side here. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left knee towards the chest. Slowly step it forward. Hands down. Set up a strong crescent pose. Squeeze the hips. Sink them down as the chest comes forward. Inhale, rise yourself all the way up. Crescent lunge. Take a breath in, get a little taller. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. From there, start to pitch halfway forward, coming to this arrow shape. As you're here, feel the left hip hugging underneath you, strong left leg, and then come into your warrior 3 Digasana. Coming into your depth here, you can come parallel to the floor or stay up a little higher. Keep the integrity of the upper body. Everything's working here, buoyant in space. From here, we transition into warrior 2. Back foot finds the floor, spread the arms wide. Reconnect to both feet here as you sink a little lower. From there, eagle arms, left elbow comes over the right. Lift the elbows out, forearms away from the face. And then inhale, let's find reverse warrior. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Triangle pose, straighten left leg. Reach the left fingertips out. The left hand finds left leg, right arm reaches up. Bend right elbow, open chest. Stay there or find that half bind. See what you can notice about your triangle pose, the areas that we've been activating so far in our class. Final few breaths here. Release the right arm and reach it up towards the top of your mat. Take that next breath in, reverse your warrior, left arm reaches up. And then exhale, we twist. Right hand finds the floor, right knee down. Inhale, takes the left arm up. Bend elbow. Last time here in our transition, left elbow, left thigh, or right arm reaches up and overhead. Nice big stretch on the right side. As you exhale, come back, downward facing dog. Last vinyasa here. Once you're back in downward facing dog, take a full breath in. Exhale, release out. And then knees slowly find the floor here. Come into Sukhasana here. So if you want to sit up on something, please do. In Sukhasana here, we're just going to do a stretch for our neck. So maybe in our flow, we created a little bit of that tension here. Just trying to dissipate it here before we move back into our day. See how we can drop the shoulders. Noticing the chin parallel to the floor. And then from here, let's take our left arm up. And then drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Bend left elbow and rest the hand on the right side of the head. Not pressing on the head, the hand is just rested here. And then bring your awareness to our lifted elbow here. Can you take it up towards the top corner of the room that you're in? And then maybe a little bit back behind you. Notice how this subtly changes your pose. We almost make this a little bit more about what's happening on this side of the body when we think about this upper arm here, and just allow any stretch on this side of the neck to happen passively. Stay exactly as you are, or you can transition to bring the chin down towards the chest. Hand just rests towards the back corner of the head now. And this way you can feel a lengthening. No right or wrong here, just notice your own experience. Noticing this settling of stillness after some vigorous movement. Take another breath in. And then exhale slow as you came in, make your way out, pause. Give yourself a chance to reset. Notice the difference, right side, left side. I know I feel it. And then second side, arm reaches up. Drop the ear towards the shoulder and then rest the hand along the side of the head. Once you found it here, very little pressure on the head. Think about lifting the elbow up toward the top corner of the room and then back behind you. Noticing if the side is a little bit more persistent, or you have a little bit more space. Once again, option to tilt the chin down towards the chest. Transitioning the hand Notice how you might be able to get a little softer in your pose. Notice what you don't need to keep the integrity of this shape. And then enjoy that for another breath. From there, we'll release. Hand comes down towards the thigh. Give yourself a breath just to recalibrate there. And then let's make our way onto our backs. Removing your prop. If you were sitting on anything, lying down. Keeping the knees bent here. We'll just take one bridge pose here, Setu Bandhasana. So knees are bent, heels are close in towards the sitting bones. Walk the shoulder blades onto the back body. And then as you're ready here, press into the heels to lift the hips up. Noticing gentle traction of the backs of the arms to support your pose. And if you have the space, you can take the bind here underneath you, walking onto the outer arm bones. Finding your pose there, feeling this opening through the front body. It's so important, and we've been spending a lot of time in a seated posture. Staying here 3 more breaths. And then bottom of your exhale, lower the hips down towards the floor. Walk the feet a little further away from you, and then just move the knees gently side to side. Hug the knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around the legs, and then drop both knees over to your left. Arms come into cactus shape here, or a T, whatever you have space for. And then see if you can drop in. See if you can reconnect to this idea that we talked about at the beginning of our practice of sort of this energy exchange in these more vigorous practices, where yes, we are exerting energy, but we also feel rejuvenated. We get energy from paying attention to different areas of the body, from these challenges, from the movement, from the breath. Take another breath on this side. And then as you inhale, come back through center, and then switch sides. Drop both knees over to your right. And then without being too specific, see if you can pinpoint any kind of energetic exchange that you may feel. Maybe that means a little bit of clarity on something. Maybe it means you've created space, letting go of something that's no longer serving you. Anything else, no right or wrong. It might just be a little bit of that physical sensation, a little bit of opening to areas that feel stagnant. And maybe nothing comes to mind, nothing can be pinpointed. Knowing that you've done something good for you. Just enjoying the benefits, whatever they might be. Take your next inhale, bring the knees back up through center. And then from here, we'll extend into our final pose. So take the legs long if that's comfortable for you. Allow them to be wide. Arms out by the sides, palms face up. Checking into this full body awareness. What can you let go in your Shavasana? How can you be a little bit softer? Taking as much time as you need here. Remembering to extend to yourself that little bit of gratitude before exiting your Shavasana. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.